Hi, I'm Lemmy from lotr.
I've put this off for far too long.
Today I'm painting my most hated mini. With most hated mini I mean I just can't stand the actor. It's nothing to do with the actor himself, I just look at his face and I'm like, guy looks like a prick. He might be a very nice guy in real life and everything, and I don't know, I just can't stand his face. So that's gonna explain the title of this video, painting my most hated mini ever or something crazy like that. It's gonna be a little clickbaity, but I need subscribers. I don't, if you don't want to subscribe, I don't care. I just make this for me, make this for fun. So yeah, and I think it's a little funny painting my most hated mini and then Bilbo fighting Baggins. But yeah, back to the fight video. I just can't stand the actor, that's why the video is titled like this. And I wasn't actually planning on painting him, but my wife kind of bought me the whole box of Torrance company, and it was a present, and I don't want to be saying to her, yeah, I like your present, but I'm gonna sell this Bilbo because fuck him. And I also like painting hobbits. I'm just not gonna enjoy painting his face. Can tell you that. I've already painted his face and I didn't really enjoy it. I just hate his mug face. Fucking prick. If the actor would be watching this, which I know he will never watch this in his entire life, I'm sorry if I offend you. I'm not trying to be offensive to you. Don't know why I'm even saying this. You're never gonna find watch this. Not in a million years. The guy is gonna watch this. I even forget his name. I really don't care about him. Yeah. So let's go to the desk, let's start painting before I keep on rambling. And after basing little Bilbo and giving him a base coat of Chaos Black, pretty sure it's still called Chaos Black, the rattle can. Yeah. I started painting his face and hands. I'm gonna go from the most bottom layer and work my way up in a way, because it's something I started doing recently after watching Swords and Brushes, one of his videos, and it's a very fun way to paint. It makes it a little bit more easier, because you're less likely to fuck up, in a way. So I start with cadian fleshtone and give it a couple of thinner layers. It's a hobbit and we don't want to lose too much detail, or no detail at all. That would be fine, perfect. After which I decided to paint his walking stick mournfang brown. I was gonna need to paint it at some point, and why not right after cadian fleshtone. My cadian fleshtone, I just use it. It's gonna be easy to reach back and touch his hands up if I fuck up, and I think I actually fucked up maybe once or twice because I have the shakes. Then I decided to paint his vest, the next layer, yeah. So I decided to paint the next layer, his little vest in caliban green. And that's why I like hobbits in a way, because you can get a little bit more creative, a little bit more fun with the colors. I mean, if you paint 150 Uruk-hai, they're gonna be pretty much all the same. But I'm working on something with Uruk-hai at the moment. Maybe I'll show a little teaser here. That can, well, shake things up in a way. So it will be more fun to paint, and I'm working at it at the moment as well. It's right behind me, the project. But yeah, I'm a fat bitch, so you can't see behind me. Call yourself a fat bitch. Next up is his pants, his pantaloons, his shorts, whatever the fuck you wanna call them. Keep fucking swearing, I'm so sorry to that wonder-headed guy. I may sound sarcastic, but I'm actually trying not to swear. So for his pants, gorthor brown. Once again, I just like painting gorthor brown, and with hobbits I just take the paints that I really like to use and the paints that I'm really familiar with, And I also looked a little bit to the Games Workshop site, see what they did with their Bilbo. And I always think that's nice inspiration. I also on my computer had like 4 pictures open of Bilbo Baggins and other hobbits, and it really gives you a little bit more inspiration to paint. Yeah, it's just handy to have a look at it and say, oh yeah, I can use this color because that hobbit wore something similar, and it keeps the hobbit vibe. Then I realized I still had to paint the hair on top of his head and on top of his feet. I used XV88 for that. Bilbo has a little bit of a lighter hair color. So yeah, like XV88, and since I'm using since I'm painting the hobbit that I like the least, well, the actor who plays the hobbit that I like the least, I might as well use the colors I really like using, that I'm really familiar with, so maybe by the end I think it will actually look good and be happy with the hobbit I have. Now before I paint his vest, I painted his scarf in tallarn sand. It's one of the paints that I recently bought, I think. Probably I recently went on a little bit of a spending spree, taking bottles of paint that I, well, never used before. And I try to incorporate them in more and more painting schemes to find new colors that I really like. Maybe some new techniques that I really like. So tallarn sand is one of those paints. And I think it just looks really nice for a scarf. And that's how I paint, actually, just take the colors that I really like. Not much more to be said. Now for his vest I use khorne red. Simply because khorne red was the only darkish red that I had laying around at the time. But once again I went on a little spending spree and bought some more reds, because I tend to use only khorne red and world bearers red. I think it's world bearers red or something like that. And yeah, maybe you'll see it in one of the next videos, the new reds I bought. And with this vest, just a couple of thin layers once again. I'm really taking it easy, trying to enjoy painting Bilbo. It was a challenge, but in the end I actually think I got there. Kind of enjoying it. Now, of course, Bilbo has some buttons on his vest. We all know the scene with Gollum chasing him and his buttons getting stuck on the rock in, well, Gollum's cave in a way. It's all Gollum's cave, the Misty Mountains. It's all from Gollum. It's actually the king of the Misty Mountains. Yeah. Depends how you look at it, actually. I used hashut copper and just a couple of little dots. I really used the finest brush I could find, and yeah, try to really gently stipple on the button. And yeah, I rather try 50 times because I have barely any paint on my brush as well, so if I miss it isn't that obvious. Don't think I actually missed. I timed my shaking hand really well. And as you can see, before we use the shade paints, Bilbo is already looking pretty good if you ask me. But now we're gonna see what the difference the shade paints will make. I've said this before and I'll say it forever again. I fucking love this stage, the shades. This is when you'll see how the mini is gonna look. By the end of it, it's fucking awesome. First shade I used is the Reikland fleshshade. Try to not make it pull around the eyes, but just a little bit more so there is more depth in the eye socket. Right after that, I used nuln oil because I didn't have to use nuln oil too close to where the skin is, maybe his hands with the red vest. In the end, none got spilled over, and since I used so little Reikland fleshshade, it was kind of dry by the time I reached for the nuln oil, especially around the hands. Because with dwarves I tend to use more Reikland fleshshade because it gives a little bit more of a dirty look. And I like that with dwarves. I mean, they live in caves, they're in the midst of battle. They have to look a little dirty, a little worn, a little rusty or dirty from battle. But Bilbo is a hobbit. The most battle he has seen is the Battle of 5 Armies, and in the books he just gets knocked the fuck out pretty early on actually, so fuck the Hugh movies. I wanted to see him getting hit in the face by a rock and just laying there for the entire battle. But apparently we couldn't have that. Also couldn't have like yeah, well, they just added way too much. Fucking Legolas. He isn't in the books. Books? It's one book. Why did they fucking add Legolas? And once those are all dry, I use agrax earthshade on the brown of his pants, his scarf, his hair, and yeah, that's it. You can stop right here. And I kind of wanted to, but I realized Bilbo is a hero, and a hero needs a little bit more attention. Even if it's just a little highlight on the face. And that's exactly what he got actually, a highlight on the face with cadian fleshtone. It's something I tend to do more and more with my heroes, just so I can actually show them off to my friends, and even if they have never seen Lord of the Rings, well then they're not my friends actually, but yeah, you know what I mean. They can see, this is a hero, a little bit more effort has been put into it, you can see it a little bit more in the face. And I wanted to be happy with how I painted my Bilbo, even though I kind of hate his face. Wanted to force myself to make his face better. This sounds really weird because I actually fucking don't like his face. Well, of the actor, I'm happy with the face that I painted on Bilbo. Just did a couple of highlights, not too much, because I didn't want to see his fine face for too long. Oh, I sound like an asshole, I'm so sorry. And by the end of it, this is how he looks. Still have to put some tufts on his face, maybe I'll show some pictures right now. But I'm pretty happy with how he looks. I mean, he looks like a hobbit, and that's the most important part. Am I ever gonna play him? Probably not, but I can at least show to my wife that, hey, you got me this and I painted it, and even though I hate his face, kind of enjoyed painting him, and yeah, that's in the end all that matters. He's gonna stand in my display. So yeah, kind of happy with how he turned out, but I'm gonna be very happy with painting anything else. And as I have alluded to in this video, I'm painting up some Uruk-hai, and probably that's gonna be my next video. I'm really enjoying painting Uruk-hai. I've been neglecting the second White Hand army for a little while, but soon, very soon, there will be an update that will show you that the second White Hand army that I'm making is gonna be respected. Oh, it's gonna be a kind of video that I wanted to make for over I was gonna say a year, but it's like 6 months ago that I wanted to make that video and it failed. But it will all be explained in the next video, so like and subscribe and follow me on social media. You don't have to, this video is gonna be shit, but if you do, you're fucking awesome. I'm gonna end this video right now. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Why am I always drooling while making these videos? Then I realized I still had to paint his hair as well on his... Excuse me. And I'll be following... Fine prick, actually not fine. The actor who plays Bilbo, I generally can't recall his name. Almost through this video. Kind of enjoyed painting. Let's go, blooper. Display. Yeah, just display. It's fucking hot in here, by the way. Don't know if you can see the sweat glistening on my face. Just outro, you can do this now. I'm sorry. Just for the people who might be asking where the fuck Painting Buddy is, she really hates being on camera, but she's still alive. Still bullying me a little bit. Yeah, you hate this, don't you? I'm sorry. gonna let her go. But now I can use it in the thumbnail without it being clickbait. And if you're watching this to the end, you're a fucking legend. Yeah.